Welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna set the timing, show the easiest way to set the timing on small block Chevrolet's got a distributor. Been reading a lot of forums and what all, and people are showing video where they can't get the distributor in place, can't get it right. When they do get in there, it's turned all sideways and what all, and they want it square. How do you square them up and what all? I'm going to show you the easy way to do it. Ain't nothing to it. Then later on, we're going to go ahead and build our spark plug wires for this. We're going to show how I do it. Y'all may have a better way or a different way. Well, let's set the timing on this right here right quick, and let's go on from there. Hope you enjoy it. First thing you want to do when you purchase a new distributor. Now, I don't recommend running a new distributor gear on a used cam. So if you got your distributor out and you're changing it, put I would put your gear on here that's already matched to the cam. So if your distributor quit on you, go down and buy another distributor, put it in there. You want to make sure the gears still match. If you change the cam and put a new distributor in, you're fine. But I wouldn't run a worn gear with a new gear. Okay, this is a new cam, new distributor and all, so we're probably gonna be all right here. And make sure you lube it down good before you put it in there. So first thing I want to do is let's get to zero, top dead center. Now there's several ways you can do that. You can go zero, get you some tape if you don't have it, or mark it with either one, zero on your hallmark balancer. I'm using tape. Okay, so I'm at zero on that. And then I know I'm on my my power time here, stroke. I'm gonna take my distributor. I'm just gonna drop it in. And I know there I'm probably not set right, but I'm gonna show you how we're gonna set this. First thing I do is I just set my distributor down in here, and I'll get my cap. Got my tabs are out. I'll just set my distributor on here. Cap on it. It's like it'll match up, stay on. Sometimes those tabs kind of get in the way a little bit, but that's all right. When you know she's down and in place, what you want to do is square it up with the engine. You want to make sure it's square, perfect with it, and it's going to be like this when we get done. Then I want to mark with a dry erase marker. I'm going to show you that it'll wipe right off. So you're not going to mess anything up. So let's say you mark it, the dry erase will wipe right off, okay? So let's mark number 1. I'm going to put my number 1 here. So I know my number 1 can be anywhere right in here. And I will be fine, and I will be square. Okay? Then, pull the cap back off. My number 1 is going to be real close there where it is. I didn't think I put that close. I don't know how I did that. But anyway, we're going to be right on number 1. Right there, re-square it. Make sure it's square. And also take in mind now, you're going to be advancing it. So if you are off, just a hair, you're going to turn it and set your time around 8, sometimes 9, 7s. So whatever you decide, and I'll show that. So we're going to be real close right here. Let's try one more time. We'll make sure it's right. You know what I mean? Make sure it's right. We're pretty square right there. Alright. You're like, well, my distributor all the way down. It don't have to be. Alright, so what we'll do is turn the front of the engine. You can do this and it won't go out of time. Okay, So just turn from the engine till it falls. When it falls in place, you put your cap back on, hook everything up, and it will fire on time right there. But that's the easiest way to drop that distributor in there. You got it in time and it's ready to go right there. Alright, so hope this helps some people. It should. But find out where you want your pointer, put it where you want it, turn the engine over, the rotor is going to turn with the cam. When it lines up with the oil pump, it's going to fall in. Alright, so that's probably about the best I can tell you to do it right there. So now we got our distributor where we want it. And if it is off when you fire it up, this is maybe. Alright, I may not have been perfect, but basically that's going to be the easiest way you can do it. Just set your pointer, turn the engine over, it'll fall in. Now we got where we want it. Let's build some wires for this thing. And never, you can if you want, buy wires in a box and just put them on. And there could be a break in them. You don't know what happened there when they built them, how they boxed them, or who did what to them. They could have been stretched, played with. You know, they hire anybody out there now. So just always measure resistance on your wires. Make sure they're not open. Make sure there's not a high resistance where they're almost cut in two. But check them out good. And let's go in with this thing and show you how to do mine. All right, let's do it. At this time, after you check your wires and all, and what all, now a lot of times these wires will come with a. Let me just grab one here. Let's see. I think this never will work. They'll come with a pre-cut in on them, where you just pull it off of there. Which your wire's probably gonna be too long. Whatever, you're gonna cut it and make it the length you want it. Measure resistance on it, and these wires here we're using. Look at this part number here and all. They're just ACCEL super stock wire, and you get that part number there. Now these are real wire. They're not carbon. They're wire. So, and the wire is harder to break. Later on down the road, if you got to take them off, redo something, or add something to pull everything back off. The wire, the carbon, if you was to stretch it a little bit or happen to catch it and stretch it, you can pull the carbon in two. I like the wire. I've used the wire for a long time, and you know, I've had good success from it. Anyway, let's bolt up our guide, what we're going to be using here for our wires, and go from there. That's what we got here. I'm going to be putting this right here on this engine. I've always liked this stuff here. A lot of people don't, but hey, you know, you got to go with what you like. And I've had good success out of this, where you know it'll look good and keep your wires off everything. But I make sure I'm lined up here. There we go. Wasn't quite lined up, was it? And take note, I mean, everything I've done to the engine, I have to remove later on before I install it and what all. We'll get there. Matter of fact, I think next weekend I should have the front end done on it, where I can go ahead and put on the run stand and start bolting things up on it, getting it set up to fire up. So I'm just going to barely snug these here for right now. Okay, we're not putting them on there permanently right now. We're going to get everything adjusted, measured, and set up right. Man, tell you what, it is hot today. I think Alexa back there told me it's going to be like 104 or something. It's going to be pretty warm. Alexa, how hot is it going to be today?
Today, expect a high of 104 degrees Fahrenheit.
Then we'll grab our plug. There we go. Get straight with it. Alright. So we got our plug. We got our number 1 wire. Square your distributor back up. And these here, they just slide off. Okay? They just slide off. And they won't, when your engine's running, they're not going to come off. As long as there's no tension on the wire. So number 1, I'm going to run it on the inside. And I want to leave enough wire where if I was to change something up or move my distributor, I can. So move your distributor, you know what I mean? Take it and turn it. Make sure you're not going to put your wires in a bind if you have to turn it, just timing or whatever on it. Alright? So here we are this far here. We're just going to do this one. Slide these back on. I have my glasses on, so I meant to put them on though. I'm just going to put this one on right here for right now. And then at this point, what I always use, then these headers, they get hot. Especially on these superchargers, it's going to get warm. Probably any engine really. You want to kind of run an insulator on them. But there's an end that goes on your spark plug boot. Then the end that will go on the on your wire. So make sure you got it on the correct way, or however you want to put it on. You put it on the way you want to. But I try to put mine on. You know, I always put this down towards my boot. Okay, so this will go on my boot. So I got protection coming out of it up to it. So we're going to put slide your boot on there, and make sure now when your boot's on there, take and turn it. If that boot touches that header, it's going to be up to you if you really want to run that touching. You will have your heat shield on it. You'll have your heat shield on it. But it's up to you if you want to run it touching the header or just run around the front. Myself, I'm going to come around the front with it. I just think it's a better way of doing it. That's just me. And I'll allow myself enough room on my wire or I have it out in the front where it won't be touching. And if I see it won't be touching, we're going to extend the wire a little bit. Now remember, we have AC, everything going here, so keep that in mind where you're rubbing and what all. Okay? So let's cut that wire. We're going to be okay right there, I think. That way it won't be touching. It'll be fine. I got some old cutters here somewhere. Find me a pair. They kind of walk off every once in a while, but you know, we got this. So right in there where I want my cut at, and then you got to think about you're gonna have your wire bent back on your connector. It'll come out a little bit more and cut it off. Okay. We're going to take that. We'll get my glasses on. This right here. I've always used these here. They work out pretty good. A little spark plug cutting tool. I had another pair somewhere. I don't know where they went to. I just picked up another pair. Or I say pair. pairs too, right? So let's I want that much. Right about there. Down. Twist it, just kind of barely turn it. Okay. You should be cut perfect. Let's get the fiberglass out of the way here. You can leave it in there. What do you want to do with it? Now here's where sometimes it can get tricky. So let's just say you bend the wire back, put your end on. Okay? You go to plug it in, you have to twist your wire. You know what I mean? And put it on. Then your wire is going to be all off a jaw. And you got to put some, which I will anyway, separators to make it look better. So put that wire where you want it. Turn it to where you want it. Then fold your wire back according to your spark plug timing with your end right here. Okay? So we'll go back right here with it. And I may cut a little bit of that off of there. I may got it too long. You don't want it too long. Just enough to go back on your piece there. You got that back where you want it. It'll snap on. Set your end on it where you want it, and you want about a about a 1/16 of an inch from this end here out to the edge here. A 1/16 or so, you'll be fine. You got to have room for your plug snap on. Okay, if it'll stay there, we'll crimp her down. And before you crimp it now, make sure you got it where you want it. Let me do this here. My hands are getting where almost I can't hardly hold this stuff anymore. It happens to the best of us, I guess. Where I want it at. Little crimp on it. Looks good. And we'll slide that in and we'll snap in where it's supposed to be. And you can put you some little bit of the electrode lube on it. Put it in your spark plug. Just a little bit. You don't need much. You know what I'm saying? You don't need a whole lot. Let your boot up here. You can either put it here. It'll help it make it slide in. I think it tells you to. I think on instructions, it may tell you to put some on here so it'll slide in your boot a little better. It sure helps. You use what you want. Push your wire in. You can look in there and see where your wire is. Make sure it's going to be straight in there. And you can see the whole circle. So sometimes there may be a piece of rubber in there or something where it won't work right, you know. Snap in place. They do have springs on them, so. But now a lot of people want to know how I keep that in place. There's a couple ways you can do that. Don't use plastic. So down here on your spark plug side, pick up some metal zips. It's not going to hurt a thing. You're not going to, the fire is not going to go out there it'd have to go through the boot, through your insulator. You know what I mean? You're not gonna, it ain't gonna hurt nothing. So put your one down here, and it will look better. It'll look fine. Turn your split side to the inside of it. So when you put it on there, twist it, we're going the inside of it. So I'm going to do the rest of these, and when you get to where you want to be at on it, I recommend picking you up some of these separators. Okay, you can get them in 2s, 4s, however you want to get them, 3s, however you want to get them. All right, you buy the pack of them, but when you run your second wire, I'm just going to pull one back here. It ain't going to be the right one. Let's just say this one right here. When you got your second wire on here and you got it started to where you want it, let's say you want to bring it up out of the way, you might want to add your 2 here, okay? Or in this case here, we're going to bring it up, we'll start running right in. Of course, our boot will be here, our insulator, so it won't rub. It won't rub, and it'll be out of the heat. The boot will be on. It won't rub. It'll make a perfect turn and head back. Like I said, a lot of people don't like these boots the way they look, but I'm gonna tell you, they come in handy because heat is resistance. It can rub on things. You can mess up your wires. So that'll wait, and we'll have our that'll go, of course, to number 2 over here, and then our third one will come up, and our fourth one will come up and join them. All right, so let me get these done, and we'll do a little video around it and see how everything looks and go from there. All right, stay tuned.